Learn a little something. Take a lesson. Learn it all. Welcome back, guys, to another ninja video, and today we're talking about Quake, how to play her, and how to do that coveted Quake and Shake technique. Let's get into it. Now, Quake is a straight killer of many champs, nodes, challenges, and quests. Her ability to call upon 100% ability accuracy reduction through concussion just by charging her heavy is amazing, and it has built-in safeguard to auto-evade if anyone dares interrupt it, as long as they stay concussed, that is. As you can see, concussion is removed each time the heavy has been lifted, so if you want to maintain that auto-evading ability, you have to continuously reapply it as much as you can. While she's charging, she's doing damage per second while stacking Aftershock Charges. Now, these charges can't be avoided, and the Aftershock that follows also can't be avoided because they're both passive. Now, if you stack more than 4 charges, you gain a 5-second concussion that allows you to auto-evade all basic attacks, as well as rock 100% ability accuracy reduction for the duration. Also, if you've stacked up enough of these charges, you have a chance to stun off of each one, so the more you stack, the more chance you have to stun, and the duration is based on how many charges you had. So you're going to want to stack as many as you can to increase your chance to stun and to extend the length. Now, as for her specials, 1 and 2 stack 2 and 3 Aftershocks respectively, and this can be applied through contact. So this means you can still apply it even if they're blocking. Now, the SP2 gives an instant concussion for 5 seconds, and the SP3 stacks 6 charges and stuns for 3 seconds, allowing for more charging of Aftershock Charges. Now, if you use her like a standard champ, she's just okay. She does average damage per hit, and her specials allow for some extra damage through that Aftershock. But that's not really how to use her effectively, even if she does give you a sidestep just by charging a heavy. That's pretty cool. Now, for the reason why you are here, for how Quake outshines almost every champion in the game, well, here we go. There are 2 major styles of quaking: Quake and Bake, and Quake and Shake. Both methods can take down enemies without having to hit them, so you never have to worry about power gain or return damage from striking them. Do keep in mind, though, that you can't auto-evade special attacks with Quake's heavy attack. And you cannot auto-evade things like True Strike or True Accuracy because they negate auto-evade. Now, Quake and Bake is using your Quakes for the initial auto-evade, and Parry is, you guessed it, to bake them. It's highly effective for most situations, and it allows you to stack on a good amount of Aftershock Charges. This does have its caveats, however, as you do take block damage, even if Parry reduces it, and it will have you taking a lot of damage from stun immunes, as well as unblockable attacks, for obvious reasons. Now, Limber Nodes requires you to pay attention not only to your fight and your parries, but also you have to pay attention to that stun meter up there. As it gets shorter and shorter, you're going to have to adapt your timing. Quake and Bake, while seemingly simplistic, does require knowledge of the combo system because the speed varies, and the AI is going to mix it up on you in an attempt to trip you up. Now, there's medium, light, medium, light, and in some cases, heavy. Now, I really want you to notice the subtlety between the differences in sound and how far apart they are, because it's very slight, but it's very important that you know that, because if you don't, you're gonna miss the parry. And if you miss the parry, you know what that means. That is block damage, and none of it is reduced. So this takes a lot of practice to see and feel the difference between all the attacks, but once you get it, you got it. Now, also, the AI has wised up a lot, quite a bit recently, and it changes up its attack patterns to throw you off. It also throws in little pauses here and there in hopes that you'll drop your guard. As a result, you do stand a chance of taking on more damage than you'd originally planned for. Now, I see a lot of people doing this move right here because they're afraid of that 5-second concussion because every move is auto-evaded, and that can really throw you off of your rhythm if you're really focused. The problem with it is you're building up your opponent's power meter, and that's going to cause you problems later. You're either going to have to bait it out or you're going to have to eat it. Now, what I suggest to do is stay on your rhythm even through the concussion. Just kind of act out all the parts on the screen, and when the opponent comes out of concussion, you'll still be right on your game. Now, for Quake and Shake. Now, basically, this is quaking them and then shaking them off with the decks. This is a highly tuned, highly effective technique that, if done right, you take no damage at all. Just pretend that it's Whis talking to you. Now, the most powerful tool in Quake's arsenal is her ability to combine her heavy charging with dexterity. Or even in some cases, another heavy. Now, I've heard many people not able to do this, and that could be for a few reasons. Now, mine in particular was that I was pressing the screen too hard. You can see that video here. As for others, it comes down to understanding the mechanics of how the auto evade and dex work together with her heavy attack. Now, what makes her heavy, or any champion's heavy for that matter, so special is that it's a queued input, meaning you don't have to really time it. It'll automatically execute whenever the previous input has been completed. Now, that previous input is the important thing here, because that is the one that you have to time. Because once you've auto-evaded, it's now up to you to dex on time to avoid getting hit so that you can load up the next heavy attack. So as you can see here in this example, I'm queuing in a heavy attack immediately after I've dashed back, without doing any other inputs. Now watch how as soon as the dex is over, the heavy executes right from the queue. Now, I would practice at the beginning of the fight, dexing, holding heavy, dexing, holding heavy, dexing, holding heavy, until you get to the wall. Once you can do that, and you can do it consistently, you're ready for wall play. Now, this is where the fun starts. Now, to get this type of no-hit goodness, you need to start counting. That's right, counting. This is the de facto easy way to get this skill down. Now, combos can be 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 hits long depending on what champion you're up against. Now, I know there are champions that have 6, and that's really just a double hit, and it's still only just one input. Basically, she'll evade both of those. Now, in each one of these situations, each one decides how you alternate. The 5-hit combo full alternation is heavy, dex, heavy, dex, heavy. So even combos end in a dex, which is a more natural way to do this because you go right into the heavy, which is optimal for stacking multiple Aftershock charges. But an odd combo ends in a heavy. So if you're not careful, your natural inkling will be to go right into a dex, and if you don't time it right, the AI is going to catch you in that little 1/1000th of a frame and knock you into oblivion. So make sure you're queuing up those heavies right on time. I know sometimes they drop, it's unfortunate, but for the most part, they do work pretty consistently. Now, the one that you really have to watch out for is the 5-hit combo. So what I do is, after a 5-hit combo, I just do another heavy attack, because the last hit of a 5-hit combo, whether it be a light hit or a medium hit, has an extended recovery time. So trying to dex in this part of the combo could be a little bit risky, and you run the chance of getting smacked up. Besides, because of that extended recovery, you have more than enough time to load in another heavy, so you're basically doing 2 in a row, which then again optimizes the amount of Aftershock charges you're placing, and in return, the amount of damage you're doing. On a more advanced level, if you really want to hone your skills with the Quake and Shake technique, it really helps to know your strike matching. Strike matching can be found in the Instinctive Touch series, and I've linked that down below. It's recognizing your opponent's last hits to better recognize when and where you can place those heavies. Because as we spoke about before, the recovery time is more on the last hits, so you have a better opportunity to place those heavies and again, maximize that damage. Technically, the heavy auto-evade mechanic is fast enough to evade all incoming basic attacks. The thing is, to do it effectively, you almost have to be a precog, or you just got really good at strike matching. However, while this can be done, that doesn't mean that this is the most viable thing to do in a real match. I just use it to show off, but maybe one day I can fit it in. I'm not that good at it yet, but I can get a few in a row. I'd be interested to see if you guys can do it, and how far you get with it. Now remember, try to tap lightly and not press too hard to get the best results. Practice like crazy and enjoy your new goddess of the game. Now, if you like this video and want to support more high-quality videos like this, check out the Support a Dork section below. There's links to my Patreon, PayPal, Dork Store, and others. Want a t-shirt? It's there. Want a mug? It is right there. Each of these keeps the channel alive and keeps more helpful and awesome vids and content coming your way. The channel thanks you, and so does Super Cala. How does the tiger go? How does the duck go?
Quack, quack, quack.
So once again, this is Dorky Diggity Dave. You just watched how to quake and bake, how to quake and shake, and how to quake your opponent to the bottom of the lake. I just made that up. But that's fine, because if you liked the video, and I hope that you did, go ahead and click subscribe, click like, leave a comment, share with your friends, share with your mama. All that stuff helps me out. And remember, stay dorky, and I'll catch y'all on the flip.
Learn a little something.
Take a lesson, learn it all.
Baby, hold it down. Placing Aftershock Charges all around.